Welcome to TruthStream. Today we are back again with Paisan Michael DellaRocca. Hey, and my buddy Scott Stone.
Hey.
Well, welcome. Michael's been busy. He just spoke at the Truth Tour in Brooklyn. He actually was part of setting that up. And we're going to go into a few of the things that he's been talking about on his show, Schumann Resonance, Dead Cat Bounce, the event, a few other things. So Michael, welcome to the show.
It's great to be with you guys again, and it's just like having a chat with friends that I know for a long time.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so good to see you.
Yeah, it's great to see you guys, and that's really what we're all doing. I always share about Dolores Cannon. We talked about it last time, and we came in as the waves of volunteers for this work that we're doing right now, and we've all known each other in past lives, and just like I could feel you guys' energy, and it's like I know you guys forever. So it's great to be with you guys tonight.
We feel the same. We feel the same.
Yeah.
Well, catch us up. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start a little bit about, what you've been up to in the last couple of weeks, or the Truth Tour? Feel free to kick off wherever you feel.
Yeah, well, I share about how we shift timelines. And that was one of the things we discussed the last time I was on. We were in a massive blackout in the Schumann Resonance.
Right.
And then we have our personal timelines that we're on, or a trajectory that we're on, and then we also have the collective. And I feel especially in the last few weeks, my timeline and maybe the timeline of the collective, you get really displaced. So I had plans to go back to Florida, and that all kind of came down. But we're all like, and we've shared it last time, we're all strategically placed. We're on separate sides of America, and there's people on different continents right now. But I feel that we're being positioned for a major event that's about to happen, and we're actually anchoring in the energy in the grid. So yeah, so I've been kind of shifted around. We've been seeing that in the Schumann Resonance, and we had some spikes, but in recent time, we've been below the baseline, and that's also important as well. So regardless of where it is, and I share, we should all remember that energy is the ability to cause change. So when we have different energies, it causes changes within us, and all biological systems, right? All organic structures are influenced by the Schumann resonance. So in recent times, we've actually been below the baseline, which kind of messes up. We were saying, how low can we go? But sometimes we go low. It's not always just spikes of energy. So that kind of shifts us up as well. And, look at how things are so volatile, going up and down. You shared about the dead cat bounce. So a lot of what we're learning right now is everything is energetic. When it happens energetically, it manifests physically later. So it actually, you could have a shift energetically, and then it manifests physically. And so we're seeing the stock market about to crash, and the dead cat bounce that happened the first time that the stock market crashed. But currency is an electrical current, which is energy. So this is all energy, and there's the old ways that we had energy, and now we're getting ready for new ways to be born. So we're actually going through the birthing pains right now. It's not so comfortable.
No.
Well, not too long ago, we had a total Schumann blackout that you covered, for a full 9 days. Any summation on that? I didn't think that was even possible, and here we are with no Schumann. No Schumann resonance. That's unthinkable, really, I think.
So when you think about it, we're in this cavity, right? And there's always new people listening. The Schumann resonance is created in the cavity, which is the surface of the Earth up to the ionosphere, which is a dome of electrically charged particles. Tesla knew about the ionosphere. That's why he built the amplifying antenna. So we could actually pull energy out of the atmosphere and have an amplifying antenna in every city. We mentioned it last time, but they didn't want to give free energy to the people. So anyway, within this cavity, there's this Schumann resonance. So for a long period of time, it's almost like we're in a void. And they say that creation is done in the void. So when we're in this void, it's almost like we're going on a new timeline. And it's really important that we're merging this right now. There's actually a word for this. It's called trans-rational spirituality. So that's what I actually do. So I'm actually merging spirituality and science and putting it together. And that's as we're going to this new world, that's what we're going to need, because authentically there shouldn't be a separation between science and spirituality. That what they did was they chopped that off and put everyone in a box of limiting beliefs. And that's what the enemy does. The enemy doesn't lie to you. The enemy gives you incomplete truths. And that's what we're here. We're on a mission of truth to tie all these things together.
Yes.
Yeah, I've always felt the intersection between science and spirituality, when it does intersect, that's some of the most exciting information throughout history.
Yeah.
And it's always been stimulating to me. But we've kind of arrived at that spot that I used to think about when I was a kid, where our technology exceeds our spirituality or our capacity for either. When we hit that point, it becomes rather dangerous, and I think we're seeing all the symptoms of that pretty directly.
That's what happened in Atlantis. So
Yep.
Every time technology exceeds spirituality, the society collapses. So that's why we're actually here with the spiritual strength right now. And again, technology is not good or bad. It just is. We're using technology right now. We're having a beautiful chat right now. We couldn't do this without technology. So that's why you have to have balance. Everything is about balance right now. And that's because everything has been way out of balance. That's the hermetic principle of rhythm. Everything swings, but the pendulum has swung so far, and that sick cult has like held the pendulum up. So the pendulum's going to swing back, and like everything's going to boomerang the opposite way. A lot of people are seeing this right now. It's like everything's going the wrong, but everything's going the right way. And if in the universe there's these laws, and it's called the hermetic principle of rhythm. So it has to swing back as far as it's swung. It's going to swing back the other way, and everything's going to come crashing down.
It's interesting you mentioned Atlantis, because there's more than just a few parallels here. The search for the two-eye stone and the power that it holds was something that was embraced by Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, which is a whole nother topic. But you had the Belial group that was sort of a separate faction of the Atlanteans or whatnot, and they were the ones that harnessed the power of the two-eye stone in a way that led to an extinction level event. And now we have Ukraine and Russia and all this talk of a nuclear event and stuff. It certainly has the potential for that. I don't think any of us believe that that's where we're headed, but it's definitely showing its face again. History repeating itself.
So a couple of things. So they always, it's interesting you mentioned the stones, and they always show you the truths a lot. And, I share about superheroes and comic books on my channel, and Thanos's quest in the Infinity War for the Infinity Stones. They're actually showing you what really goes on. And there are things, the power can't all be. That's why he went on a quest to grab all these things and put it together. So these things are actually out there, and there's ways of wielding these powers. But the most important power for us to wield is by activating our DNA, and that's activating the Christ. Christ is an energy, and DNA activation is not a spiritual myth. It actually happens, and I share it in every message that if I'm with someone, I share it on my channel all the time. We don't have junk DNA, and the majority of our DNA is responsible for light and sound reception and transmission. Some people have traits. You might have traits that, these things, they're so easy for you. And then there's certain things you struggle with. because we have from our past lives these abilities. And, now, some of this has been blocked, however it was done, but a lot of these things were activating our DNA, and these things that maybe these powers, we didn't have it coming into this life, but we're evolving while we are alive. And these powers are coming back online right now. And, I share about Dolores Cannon and why the clarion call was sent years ago when the atomic bombs went off. And I'm here to share with everyone that these atomic bombs won't go off again because it violates free will. And I don't know the exact ins and outs of it, but there are other higher dimensional beings. And if that doesn't resonate with you, that's okay. I'm just sharing this knowledge. And when the atomic bombs went off, it actually influenced other dimensions, and that breaks the law of free will. So they will not allow a nuclear warhead or weapon to ever go off again. And there's actually been videos with like UFOs like shutting things down. I think it was the Fukushima power plant, and there's videos of UFOs in the air after it. You saw that?
Yeah, and now there's all these UFO sightings above Ukraine right now that are being widely reported. Not so much in the United States, but there's all kinds of reports of UFO activity over Ukraine.
Yeah, and it's important. It's important that because a lot of things are fear. We're tricked into manifesting a reality that doesn't even exist, and it's really important for all people to understand that we don't pay attention. That's our currency. We don't pay attention to these fear-based programs that they put out there, and have a knowing that these things won't happen. And it is truthful, because we're broadcasting an electromagnetic signature into the quantum field, and then that ripples back to us. So collectively we can create something out of fear. Like there could be a dangerous, I don't know, plague, let's make it up, and it doesn't even exist, but because of fear people can actually manifest it. And if you're listening to this and you're new to this, you might be familiar with the placebo effect. And the placebo effect is when you take a sugar pill and you heal yourself with nothing, with no medicine. So the opposite is called the nocebo effect. And the nocebo effect is when bad people give good people fear. And when you have this fear, your body will actually react in that way. I think there was even a story, maybe you have heard of this, where a person received a they had like a readout, like a CAT scan of cancer. It wasn't theirs. It was a different person, and the guy believed he had, and then he actually developed it, and it wasn't even his. So that was a piece of evidence of the nocebo effect.
Good point.
So we all have to be we hear terms, and that's if you're listening, it is called transrational spirituality. We hear these terms. You really have to have the power of positivity, baby. I have the power of positivity when I'm with you guys.
Well, from a physics perspective, the observer defines what they're observing. We talked about the Max Planck test and whatnot before, but this idea of our dormant DNA, or what science calls junk DNA, there's a lot of indications that that's multidimensional DNA, which would be our true nature, and that this has been a suppressed human trait that we're getting back. And when you get into the quantum science, that's a readily observable thing, or at least a readily theorized thing.
Yeah.
This isn't all woo and mystic stuff. This is science.
Yeah. And when we realize that the quote unquote junk DNA is really about, so we receive light. There's light codes that come in. This has been shown with species. Like there's this monkey that was on a Japanese island, and it learned how to open like a shellfish with a rock. And then all the monkeys, like after the first one did it, they all started learning how to do it. And at the same time, on a different island where they had no contact, around the same time, they learned how to open the shellfish with the rock. So there's something in Nikola Tesla called it the ether. There is something out there that we're all connected, and there's evidence of this.
Right.
So,
The 100th monkey effect. And
yeah.
and I think that's why we're, when we're doing these shows, that it gives other people permission to talk openly and maybe start their podcast or have some reference points so that they can go, oh yeah, there's three Italian guys talking about this stuff on both coasts, and maybe they'll go, okay, well, it's okay to talk about this stuff.
Yeah, it's and it's true, because as you can see, we're all having a good time, and we're all just regular guys.
Yeah.
There's nothing special. I don't sit here with a turban, all spiritual, and I don't pretend to be better than everyone else. There's that fake spirituality and that fake guru vibe, and people should be aware of that too. A lot of people are hurting right now. They're lost, and they reach out, and that's where I shared it on my channel. The biggest filth of all, I call the biggest disease of all, is these fake spiritual gurus that actually lure people in. And you got to put a big question mark on these people that try to that come off so squeaky clean, because they're probably not. And that's why it's just best. All you have to do is be yourself. Like, we could just be three paisans, just talking about the event.
Yeah.
Well, there was that whole John of God thing that happened, and the same could be said in some ways about Deepak Chopra. The idea that a lot of this information has been hijacked, and because of really good marketing, it really took hold. Really, and it was very destructive on many levels.
Yeah, and that's what it is. You have to take the long journey. I mean,
gotta go within.
all of us. None of us are we could be famous in one aspect, but we're not like super. And you have to realize, like, that old way of corruption. You just got it's grassroots, and you just gotta just meet people, and it has to be authentic. And like, people are resonating with the two of you, and people resonate with me. And then when we come together, it's like, forget about it.
Forget about it. Yeah. You got to go within. I mean, I think that's the big challenge for everybody right now, is all the answers are there. If you're a Christian persuasion and you're looking at the teachings of Christ, that was the message, the central message, to go within. I think most great spiritual teachers that have had a positive impact on humanity have had the same message. It's all within. A lot of these parables are even a map of the human brain and how we process information. Again, light codes, light is information.
Light is information.
So yeah, it's pretty powerful stuff.
It's just a different way of thinking, but you could just see, like, if I tell a person, like, you have to just look at basic things. Look how a plant, if you have a plant in the room, how it grows towards the window, it grows towards the light. Even if the light, it just, there's something in the air. Or when the springtime comes, and all of a sudden the ants are deep below the surface, but they know all of a sudden you see all the spring comes, and the ant hills start popping up. How do they know? Because there's something that's it's not just visible light, but there's something that's energy. It courses through, and it gives them that signal. So there is information that's telling us what to do and how to evolve. And I think we're not the only ones that know about the solar flash, and there's information that's coming in to tell us that we need to evolve now.
I look to my dog for information, because she's got much better perception than I do. I mean, we have a very narrow spectrum of light that we can see, sound. I mean, all of our senses. It's a pretty limited spectrum compared to a lot of other creatures on the planet, and it's interesting. They're all reacting. They've been reacting for the last couple of years to these changes.
So you would say, because I get that on my channel, so you would say over the course of the last few years, or recently, that your dogs are reacting
increasingly so. I'll ask my friends with dogs, like, is your dog whining a lot lately for no reason? And they're like, Yeah, all the time. A lot of similar behaviors that all these animals are having that, and now it's hunting season, and no one has seen an elk in the mountains. It's crazy.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, and
Wow.
none of my fruit trees produced much fruit at all this year. We're seeing an increase in the creepy crawlies and the pests and so on are kind of coming up more than usual, and
Right.
that's a bit out of the ordinary. So I think it's worth paying a little bit of attention to anyway.
That's very interesting to share.
Yeah.
And to talk about what you said, the animals have these senses, and we're supposed to too. And if you're familiar with Dr. Bruce Lipton, he says that all animals are able to pick up on vibration and frequency. And he says the gazelle doesn't have to ask the lion, "Are you my friend?" It just knows. It's true story. So the problem is the controllers of this realm know it as well. That's why we've been fluorinated. We've been filled with heavy metals, the fluoride, to numb us. And over the course of my life, I started, I learned, and that's why I pass it forward to other people, because my life improved. To eat a healthier diet, remove these things, avoid certain chemicals, take, the path of removing heavy metals. A lot of people don't use fluoride toothpaste. There was an old lady, I saw this like 3-minute clip of her holding the toothpaste, explaining with the little red thing and the poison, and it's a very interesting. But we're all like, trained to, we got to get this mainstream toothpaste, and we have fluoride and like poison, and then she reads it. It tells you, call poison control if you swallow the tubes, and you were putting it like
In your mouth.
We're thinking, it's like good. It's amazing how, like, we're just born into these things, and we were born into the prison of the mind, and we never knew it. So that's what this great spiritual awakening is all about. We're taking back our power. But just doing these simple things and running frequencies. I have a 1 hour 528 hertz on my channel page. Just listening to frequencies, doing your thing, and mainstream music was switched to 440 hertz frequency, which is disharmonious to nature.
Yeah.
So it's like everything is thrown at us.
Our friend Nick, he tunes all of his music to what is it, 440?
432, I think.
432.
Right? Yeah. Nick Alvear. We interviewed him about a week. 2 weeks ago.
And his music is particularly relaxing. I mean, it's just, there's a part of you that it soothes, that I don't know, if you give it a listen, see what you think. But but
that's what it's all about. Because music is supposed to heal us,
right?
Not supposed to hurt us. So it's like literally. So we want to heal with music. That's infiltrated. We want to heal with food. They have GMOs and all this other stuff, and whatever they're spraying in the air, and then it falls down in the rain, and then the crops, soak it up, and then we're ingesting that. So it's a spiritual war.
Yeah. Can you guide us a little bit through how it was to have the Truth Tour come to Brooklyn, and some of the folks you met, and all? Because I think you're a little bit responsible for it going there, aren't you?
I'm responsible for a lot of things. No, the Truth Tour. I love Lewis, and the Truth Tour. It really is. It's the epitome of. It's like a real example, a tangible example of what I share about on my channel. And I talk about the Hopi prophecy, Rainbow Warriors, and the Hopi prophecy states that there's different colors, classes, and creeds that are coming together. And when they talking about the colors, they're talking about energetic colors. The Hopi tribe, the Rainbow Warriors, and everyone in that Truth Tour brought something different to the table. I brought my spiel, right? You guys have your spiel, right? All these other people, and all different aspects of the world. It's about expanding consciousness. Dolores Cannon shared about the event. We're going through the event. So the Truth Tour is actually an actual thing that is displaying the event. the event is the expansion of human consciousness. So all these different people, they're all sharing different, and at the surface, it seems like, oh, this person's talking about that. That doesn't seem related to, it's 100% related. All of these things are related. And listen, a lot of people, they're on the hamster wheel. They're beaten down by the matrix. They don't have time to do the research that I've done. I don't blame a lot of our brothers and sisters. They just, you'll never see it. I was just blessed that, I shared on my channel, I was alone a lot earlier on, and I had the time and I had the drive to learn these things. But if you're busy at work and then it's the hamster wheel. Get into college, get the job, get married, have kids, be too tired, die and repeat, and pay your taxes and do the whole and so they were on the wheel, and they're like, stop the ride. They can't get off the ride. So what we're here to do is actually smash the ride, break the ride,
Yeah.
get everyone off, and now all of a sudden, oh, now I'm relaxed. But it's really great to be with so many different people, but we're all the same, and just feeling that love and that drive that we're actually going to see this one day, this big event. There's going to be, I don't know how it's going to play out, but there's going to be an event that's like, now we're there.
Right.
And
well, I wanted to ask, because I think there were some people that came together during that event that maybe you've either befriended or maybe you'll talk to, but it seemed like, remember the gentleman named Wasim? I think that was his name. He talked about the food. Yeah. It seemed like he said, oh, is that Michael? So I don't know if you guys continued a conversation and you're still in touch. He just seems like he'd be a great guest to have at some point.
Yeah. And so like he was focusing on food and but this is all, so some people would say, how is the corruption of food the same as the corruption in the financial, it's like totally, or how is the food connected to the corruption in the political or something? It's like a big web, and I would think it was the Hopi Blue Star prophecy said there would be this web that goes around the earth, and it could be looked upon as that, or it could be looked on the internet, the web, but we're in a biblical time period. Doesn't matter the religion or culture. The Hopi is a culture. It all spoke of Book of Revelation. It's all the same, and nothing could stop it.
It's interesting, and you hit on a couple of things, but and I talked about a little bit on the Truth Tour, the idea that we've been beaten up for our views for a number of years, and it's real easy to harbor a lot of hostility towards the folks that did the beating, and I think the big challenge for us is to find a way to love those folks. And I was just sharing with Joe, there was this gal on Instagram. She's a recovering feminist. She dyed her hair blue, did all the
what a great title.
She did all the different things, and then she realized that she went hook, line, and sinker into this whole fear brigade, and now she's just got a passion behind her that we're all kind of worn out almost. We've been at this for a long time, but boy, I think we're going to see a lot of that fire from a lot of folks once they realize there's another choice that isn't fear. And I think that unity is going to be exhilarating, and I think it's coming real fast.
It's important to be strong, do no harm, but take no shift.
Yeah,
that's how we cause this. If I were to bow down, a lot of people are telling you how to live your life. Some people recently try to tell me how to live my life. And listen, I share the most authentic way that we could approach spirituality, forgiveness, so on and so forth. And I believe in forgiving everyone one time. And I want everyone to that's listening to this really focus on this. Unconditional love is not unconditional acceptance of poor behavior.
Yeah.
Because what happens with the love and lighters, and especially my empaths, I know my empaths are listening in. I'm sure the three of us are empaths. Listen, and I'm sharing this because I saw when I would do this, you have people in your life and you feel like a little, oh, they're a little like, you know, mean or whatever, but they're my friend, and I'll just try to like not rock the boat and everything. But you know, when it comes, it could be a very severe situation. When a person is an empath and they want to do the right thing and be nice, we didn't come here to be anyone's doormat. And what we need, so the crowd is the matrix, and people are going to keep pushing what they believe in until the lions roar, because the lion roars louder than the demon could growl. So it's important that, like I said, I'm all for, you know, if a person comes into my life, say, oh, you know, I said this years ago, I said this, you know, and I'm sorry. I'm all for that. But the best thing that a person could do right now, especially if you have that in the household, I have people on my channel, they deal with it if it's a husband or wife, it could be their parents, it could be their children, across the board. And the number one way and the only way that is possible is, as Tesla said, be alone. I'll walk away from anything. I'm comfortable sitting on the beach by myself. I've done it for years. That's why you become a very powerful person when you don't need anyone else but yourself. And that's what we're all learning right now. We're all learning that. We're learning to be alone. A lot of people, and they were saying this after they were coming out of the lockdown in 2020. A lot of people didn't like being by themselves. But this is what this shift is all about. It's about becoming sovereign beings, sovereign people. And we have to learn how to listen to ourselves. I had to learn the lesson myself too. But along with coming with this lesson, being a true commander, you can't take any shift, and you're going to have to stand in your truth. Because if we don't do this, we're just going to keep getting bulldozed by the matrix. Because most people are empathic, they're kind, but that's why, right now, if everyone, pushes with all their might, like it's like the top of the cliff, there's a boulder, and you push so hard, and you just get it to move just a little bit, and then once you get it, it just rolls easily right down. So right now we're all pushing, we're getting exhausted pushing, but we just got to get a little bit more, and then once it starts rolling. It's like the first domino. When the first domino goes, oh, that was fake. Oh, this was fake. Oh, that was fake. This was, and it validates everything else. Everything's trying to be, oh, they hide this, hide that. But it's like and again, I don't blame people. Not everyone I was blessed to have YouTube and the drive to learn these things. But some people, they never seen anything that was presented to them on the programming device called the television.
Yeah, you bring that up, and there was a woman. Actually, Scott posted this today in Telegram, and there's a woman. She had a 1-year-old child. I think her son was born in '83 and died in '84. His name was Aaron Daniel, and from learning about the sudden deaths of adults lately, she started putting 2 and 2 together that her son had sudden infant death syndrome. And she's basically, it's like a 3-minute video. And she's having a realization that she was coached into getting an inoculation for her child, and that she then contributed to his death. And she feels absolutely horrible. And it just dawned on her now, nearly 40 years later. And she just, she's a wreck. She's like, I am not doing well. It's on, I have a Telegram. It's under Joe Rosati Collective, and then I have TruthStream on there. But if people want to see it, I put it on there because he sent it to me and I watched it immediately, and it was heartbreaking to see it.
2 weeks after the baby's inoculation, that was it. And we're seeing, we're watching all these athletes in the prime of their life, the healthiest people on the planet, just keeling over dead left and right. Yeah, it makes you wonder what people are paying attention to. I was on my way to work day before yesterday, and there was a guy out for a run, and he's wearing a mask. He's wearing a
Still?
mask. Yeah. So, I mean, he's not getting any good air, and he didn't look like he was having a very good time at all.
I can't imagine.
Yeah. It makes you wonder if you want to run him over or stop and give him a hug or what. But yeah, there's no mandates anymore, but people are really clinging to that. And I think it reveals an awful lot about, definitely who they voted for, but this fear space that they're in. And you know, you got to have a little bit of sympathy for that. What a hell they've created for themselves.
Yeah, they're continually buying into the narrative and the matrix, and here we are, just doing everything we can to help, even myself, even family members and friends, to let them know what's going on. And I went to a concert last night with a friend of mine that we kind of stopped talking for a while. I mean, he literally told me, because of how outspoken I've been, he's like, you need to get a hobby. Well, you know what? Here's my hobby. So there you go. So thank you for the motivation. And but yeah, it is, and we got to have understanding and empathy that these people, can you imagine, Scott and I were talking about this the other day, like we've been going through this and learning a bit each day over the few years, and these people that have looked at folks like ourselves, like we're the ones that are crazy or whatever, they're going to have to learn all this in a crash course of, I don't know, a few days, a few weeks. I don't know. That doesn't sound very fun.
I think tinfoil sales are going to go up. That's for sure.
Yeah. It's so mental health is going to play a big role in the future. It already is. It's already been shown. I mean, that's a positive thing. Something I share on my channel. And like I listen again when we're merging science and spiritual, because there really is no divide, but people that are intuitive. I listened to a doctor. She is intuitive and takes spirituality and science and just looking, and said how many parents are going to need help when they realize what they did to their children.
Oh,
They're going to need, and that's why I encourage people to start, pushing mental health now, because we already need it now. We actually all need the mental health now, because we're like, how does no one see this? And it's aggravating you. But we also have to be empathic. I also have a friend, Adam, and he's very intuitive. So like he kind of, I want people to understand, like, if a person is intuitive, doesn't mean they just tell the future. So he could see like people in the future asking for help, like looking for someone to talk to, or a class, like can you help me get off the mask? Like how a person would go like to try to quit cigarettes, like a person would try to quit the mask, and it's because of fear. And I'm very empathetic to that. And that's, when I heard that, and I hope people listen, like that's where we have to think. We have to think about how can we, because that's what a lot of people like, they actually, they want that. And that's why I get angry, because it's amazing how much fear was pushed into people, and it's not right. And that's what really gets me angry. I get angry with what the children go through. You would talk about running children that were forced into hypoxia. That's when you breathe in your own carbon dioxide. No one's caring about the downfall of what that causes. So we have to raise awareness. And the best way of doing that at this time is what I share, which is the Hawkins scale of consciousness. And the bottom 3 levels are fear, guilt, and shame. So anytime there's a person or a program that pushes shame, that's the lowest state of consciousness, to put a person in shame. A lot of people are living with this right now, and it's not okay with me. And a lot of people, that's what we all need to do, and some people, they might hear this message and they're like, oh yeah, that's right. And some people might growl and say all this other stuff, but you have to, that's why I said, you have to keep moving forward right now. Unconditional love is not unconditional acceptance of poor behavior. So I'm not accepting, I do feel bad for people that have never seen reality.
Yeah.
They've never seen it. They've never seen it. So because, and we go full circle again, because you shared that, like some people attack you, and it could come in many, it could come in the, with GMOs, the food, politics, medicine, finance. It could come. They don't understand. They have no clue. And there's nothing that you could say. I shared about the rapture. They can't hear you anymore. The best thing you could do is just spend time alone. And just, it's almost like it is kind of a, we're not waiting for we're living our lives, but sometimes we have to take a break. We have to say, they say you have to love your friends from a distance. You could love your friends from a distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I brought on the whole dark night of the soul with a lot of camping by myself. We were in Utah at the time, and I just go off and well, I wasn't totally alone. I had my dog with me, but I was just spending a lot of time by myself, and it really triggered so much growth. I think you're really onto something. That's absolutely key. And a lot of people's lives are structured in a way that they really don't have a moment by themselves. You got a family, you got kids. Where is the time?
Where is it? It's done by design.
Right.
And I was protected somehow, and that's why, and I tell people, at first, at future proves past. So in the past, right? There was a time period I said, oh, I'm alone, oh, I don't have a girlfriend. I'm alone, woe is me. But during this time period, I was studying all this stuff while all my friends, maybe they got in a relationship that wasn't resonating with them, just to get in a relationship because the Matrix told you, get married. Now he's got kids. Now they have to support the kids. A lot of my friends didn't have a choice. They have to support their kids. So they had to, put an experiment inside of them just to feed their children. And that's why, God is very angry, because free will, it wasn't free will. Even though it's they find they slither around all these, it wasn't free will. It wasn't free will.
Right. I did want to look, because we're wrapping up, because we do have another podcast soon, but I've learned something recently. I think some people know about this, and we don't really say this very often, the whole like, comment, subscribe, share thing, but a like is, I found this out recently. A like is like a point. A comment is 10 points. A share is 15. So a share is 15 times as powerful as a like. So, and that helps get it out there. That helps people find information like us. And because I know when you talk, you say like and smash and subscribe and all that stuff. And of course we want that. We also want people to comment, share, down below, when if you see this on Rumble or whatever, BitChute, possibly YouTube. Well, it'll be on YouTube, but say something. Say, if this had an effect on you, or if you watch us or watch Michael. I mean, we love it. We can't always respond all the time, and we try to keep things really positive, and we don't really have much negative interaction on there. But anyway, please feel free to interact, because it helps. It kind of validates what we're doing, and shows that people are watching it, resonating with it, and that we're helping push that boulder just a little bit closer to it going down the hill.
Keep going. Yeah. And it's true. I even share on my channel a lot too, especially with ascension symptoms. And I tell people, leave comments and read, because other people read the comments too, and it gives them comfort, because now they're saying, okay, this person is feeling this, and it validates. And a lot of people, you're not going to get the answers, out there, so we have to build communities where we can find the answers. And this is mental health awareness. So and let's both do it, because we're both going to share this, and that's the new earth. We're doing everything together. So maybe you're watching me for the first time, and I have a YouTube channel, and it's called Our Everyday Lives, and I do daily videos as we're going through the shift, and I make sure I'm present every single day, because that's what we need at this time. And I take my skills that I did 17 years as a science teacher, and I do it for all of you right now. So if you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, it's Our Everyday Lives, and why don't you share your channel, because I'll be sharing this video as well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're under TruthStream. It's one word. And we also have a Rumble channel. So we're both on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube. And thank you. I know part of me wants to
forget that one, right?
Gosh.
Yeah.
Well, and then what I do, and this is what I let other people know too, and you could do this possibly. You can take your audio from something like this, and there's a website called Spreaker, and you send it to Spreaker. You set it up, and then you can pick which podcasts, Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, whatever. There's a bunch on there that I'm not even familiar with. And the audio can then be sent out, and then more people can hear what we're up to as well. Because, while, not everybody wants to look at our Italian faces. So there is a place for them to just listen to us if they so choose.
Hey, DellaRocca goes really good with coffee in the morning, by the way. It's a good way to start your day. That's when your lives happen for me, anyways, kind of early in the morning. But,
yeah. Oh yeah, you're on the West Coast,
Yeah.
Maybe we do a cooking show when all this is over, because we're all Italian, manja.
Why not?
I did a hummus video once.
Nice. We got to compare notes.
Important, and it's important for us to just be lighthouses. People are seeing what we're doing right now. They probably don't see things like this, where two channels are sharing mutually, and that's how we move forward in the new earth. And it's just like, it's just the total positivity, and we both gain, because collectively we're greater than the sum of our parts. And people get tired of hearing my voice, so when we all talk together, they think it's great.
Good.
Everyone says, "Oh, it's the greatest video."
Well, we appreciate having you. Anything anyone wants to say in closing?
We'll do it again in maybe a week or two. I always enjoy these. These are great.
And I think with upcoming events, we're going to have to do it even more frequently. But we're moving to a better world. So we are. Hang on, everyone.
Every day. It's going to get real scary right before it gets really beautiful.
That's right.
So keep that in mind.
It's like the roller coaster, right? You're on the roller coaster. You're at the very tip. You're like, I'm going to die. You feel it in your stomach. And then you go down. It's like, oh, it's so much fun. Let's do it again.
Totally.
We're not going to do it again, though.
The ascension symptoms. I've had like 10 people in a day where, they're like, God, should I go to a doctor? I'm really worried about this. And then I'll be able to say, no, I talked to 10 people today that have the same thing going on. I think you're fine.
Yeah.
Not medical advice, but, I think you're fine.
Right.
I'm not a doctor.
We're just common guys hanging out, having a conversation.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Good stuff.
All right, Michael. Wonderful to have you. Take care. We'll be in touch. God bless.
Thank you. It was great being with you. Take care.
100%. Take care.